Welcome back to Fresh Vision TV. Today, we're diving into some of the most terrifying moments that nature has ever unleashed upon us. And we're starting with one of the most unpredictable and destructive forces known to man: tornadoes. Tornadoes are nature's wild cards. In just minutes, they can turn a calm, sunny day into a scene straight out of a nightmare. But there's more to these twisters than meets the eye. Let's dig into some facts that make tornadoes as fascinating as they are fearsome. Did you know that the so-called eye of the tornado, that eerie calm at the center, isn't a place of safety? It's just the storm taking a brief pause before unleashing its full fury once again. And here's something even more mind-blowing. Tornadoes can change color. Depending on what they pick up, dust, water, even snow, they can appear red, brown, or even ghostly white. Have you ever heard of a gustnado? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's real. A mini tornado that forms on the edge of a thunderstorm. Not as powerful as the big ones, but still something you wouldn't want to be caught in. But tornadoes aren't just about fascinating facts. They're also about real raw power. Let's take a look at two of the most terrifying tornadoes in history. These aren't just stories, folks. These are real events that left scars on the landscape and on the lives of thousands. First up, the Tri-State Tornado of 1925. This was no ordinary tornado. It was a monster. Stretching over 200 miles, it tore through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, leveling everything in its path. Homes, schools, entire towns, gone in an instant. And the human toll? Over 695 lives lost, making it the deadliest tornado in U.S. history. Can you even imagine the devastation? Then there's the Joplin Tornado of 2011, a name that still sends shivers down the spine of those who remember it. Rated an EF5, this tornado didn't just pass through Joplin, Missouri, it obliterated it. With winds over 200 miles per hour, it left a path of total destruction, killing 158 people and causing billions of dollars in damage. The city was left in ruins, and the survivors, well, they'll never forget that day. These are more than just stories of destruction. They're tales of survival, of communities coming together to rebuild, of people finding strength they never knew they had. But they also remind us just how small we can be in the face of nature's fury. What about you? Have you ever been caught in a tornado, or maybe had a close call? How did it change the way you see the world? We want to hear your stories, so drop them in the comments below and let's start a conversation. Stay with us, because we're just getting started. Next up, we're going to explore the raw, relentless power of hurricanes and the havoc they bring. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. This is Fresh Vision TV, where we bring the might of nature right to your screen. Picture this. Just yesterday, these serene shores were bathed in sunlight, with calm waves gently lapping at the sand. But today, the same scene is unrecognizable, devastated by the sheer force of Hurricane Beryl. This wasn't just any storm, it was a monster, transforming paradise into a landscape of chaos and destruction. Beryl roared ashore as the earliest Category 5 hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic for July. With winds exceeding 160 miles per hour, it didn't just pass through, it tore communities apart, leaving behind a trail of destruction that's hard to comprehend. But even in the midst of such devastation, there were moments of incredible bravery. In one small Florida town, a local hero defied the odds, navigating through the wreckage to rescue a family trapped by the storm. These are the stories that remind us of the power of the human spirit. And now, we're going to show you the stark reality, before and after images of the areas hit hardest by Beryl. What you're about to see is shocking. These once vibrant neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, with homes shattered and lives upended. The devastation is overwhelming, and it's a powerful reminder of nature's unforgiving force. What would you do if faced with a storm like Beryl? Have you ever experienced such a disaster? We want to hear your stories. Share them in the comments below. Your experience could provide hope or guidance to others in our community. Think about a day that starts just like any other. Calm, peaceful, with the familiar sight of a lush mountain in the distance. But what if I told you that this tranquil view, this symbol of stability, could turn into a nightmare in just a few hours? That's exactly what happened in Freetown, Sierra Leone, when an ordinary morning gave way to one of the most devastating landslides in recent history. What you're seeing now is the stark contrast. What was once a vibrant community, filled with life, was reduced to a barren wasteland of mud and devastation. In just a few minutes, over 1,000 lives were lost, homes were buried, and families were torn apart by nature's unforgiving hand. But even in the face of such overwhelming loss, the resilience of the people shone through. Stories emerged of neighbors risking their lives to pull others from the wreckage, of communities coming together to mourn and rebuild, and of the incredible strength of those who survived. These were the stories that remind us of the unbreakable human spirit. This wasn't just a landslide. It was a disaster set in motion by a combination of heavy rains and deforestation, which left the soil unstable and prone to collapse. The tragedy of Freetown is a powerful reminder of how human actions can exacerbate the forces of nature, turning a natural event into a full-blown catastrophe. Now, we're going to take you through the devastating impact of this landslide with images that are hard to forget. What you're about to see is heartbreaking. Homes obliterated, lives shattered, and a once thriving community reduced to ruins. This is the harsh reality of what happens when nature's power is unleashed, unchecked. But in every story of tragedy, there's a glimmer of hope. People around the world came together to support Freetown in its darkest hour, offering aid, shelter, and rebuilding efforts. And from the ashes, the community began to rise again, proving that even in the face of such devastation, hope can never be truly lost. Now, continuing our discussion on melting ice, we are facing a terrifying truth about our planet. A chilling yet ominous mystery from the most remote and icy region on Earth, Antarctica. This isn't just a story about ice and snow. It's a grave warning about the future of our planet. Have you ever heard of the Doomsday Glacier? This isn't some science fiction movie or ancient legend. It's an astonishing reality unfolding before our eyes, at the Thwaites Glacier in Antarctica. Everything is melting at an alarming rate. What you're witnessing isn't just a natural phenomenon, but the consequence of warming ocean waters silently creeping in from below. In February 2020, Brazilian scientists stationed in Antarctica recorded a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. This data marks the highest temperature ever recorded since humans first explored Antarctica, outside of the continent itself. Let's take a moment to imagine. What if all the glaciers on Earth melted? How much longer could we as humans survive? With the continuous advancement of industrialization, the threat of global warming is becoming increasingly severe. The situation is growing more critical with every passing day, and it raises pressing concerns about the future of our planet. The glaciers at the Earth's north and south poles are melting at a rate that humans could never have predicted. Sea levels on Earth have already risen by 19 centimeters. Many experts believe that if all the glaciers at the North and South Poles were to melt, sea levels would rise by 70 meters. That's the height of a 22-story building. Most of the world's land would be swallowed by the ocean. Once all the glaciers on Earth melt, the residual energy trapped within the planet could be unleashed, triggering volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and earthquakes that could engulf everything in their wake. Along with that, if all the glaciers melt, ancient viruses that have been frozen beneath the ice could potentially come back to life. Scientists in Siberia have already discovered a 30,000-year-old virus that had been preserved in the ice. And they have the potential to infect and spread, threatening not only humans but our entire ecosystem. Humanity itself could face extinction, so once the glaciers melt, the consequences and impacts could be far more devastating than we ever imagined. In Australia, a wildfire raged on from June 2019 to March 2020, a devastating event that Australians will never forget. The blaze spread across the entire country, affecting every corner from New South Wales to Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, and Western Australia. Over 18.6 million hectares of forest were consumed by the flames, leaving behind haunting images of billions of animals burned alive. Thousands of families stood helplessly as their homes were reduced to ashes. At least 33 lives were lost, more than 3,500 homes were destroyed. Billions of animals were affected, and the economic damage soared into the billions of dollars. The main cause of this wildfire was traced back to nearly 13 individuals who brought fireworks into the forest and set them off. Shortly after, 13 people were arrested and faced sentences of up to 20 years in prison, along with fines reaching up to $250,000. 3. Rescue teams arrived urgently to extinguish the fire, and many brave citizens risked their lives plunging into the flames to save the animals. We love fireworks, but we must also cherish and protect the environment around us. The next time you plan to light up the sky with brilliant fireworks, keep in mind that even a small misstep can lead to a major disaster. Use fireworks responsibly. Next, here's a true story from a zoo in the United States. In 2018, a young boy, engrossed in his play at the zoo, accidentally fell into an enclosure where a gorilla was kept. In an instant, the entire zoo plunged into chaos. Visitors screamed, zoo staff rushed to the scene, and parents clutched their children tightly. A gorilla approached the young boy. These creatures have a very strong sense of territory. Will the boy be okay? Let's watch and find out. The boy, stunned and confused, found himself in the middle of the gorilla enclosure, surrounded by massive creatures that could end his life with just a single swipe. In that tense life-or-death moment, rescue staff arrived and the gorilla turned away. The boy was safely rescued. Next, we'll step into a world full of danger and surprises where human lives hang by a thread. But don't worry, because in those moments when all hope seems lost, miracles happen. Let's watch, feel the story, and share our thoughts together. In life, countless hidden dangers are constantly lurking around us. The first and most important thing is to be extremely careful and aware of our surroundings whenever we go out or work. This vigilance will help keep us protected and safe. Not just on the streets, but even in the most everyday situations, what we often consider normal can suddenly turn dangerous, as if a terrible tragedy is about to unfold, one that none of us ever want to face. And then, there are stories where luck seems to come from an invisible force. A woman crossing the street is suddenly, in a split second, pulled away from danger as if an unseen hand intervened to save her. As we can see, everything happens so quickly. Just a small mistake can lead to injury or even put our lives at risk. The footage we present is carefully selected, aiming to convey images and content that give you the most objective perspective on the dangers lurking around us. You see, life is never short of challenges and dangers. But it's in those very moments that we truly realize the value of life. Just imagine, if those moments had been just a bit slower or quicker, who knows how much further things could have escalated. There would be losses, grief, and a ripple effect of consequences for families, friends, and the economy. That's why it's so important to stay focused and be truly cautious. In just a split second, your life can be completely turned upside down. A traffic accident can happen so quickly that you may not even realize what's happened until it's too late. But what can you do to minimize the risk? The first thing is to always stay alert and focused while driving. Don't let even a moment of distraction change your life and the lives of your family. Remember, you're not the only one on the road. There are millions of others. Drive responsibly, not just for yourself, but for the safety of everyone around you. It's hard not to shudder when thinking about those life or death moments, isn't it? These stories remind us just how fragile life is, and how every moment is truly worth cherishing. So, if you found yourself in that situation, what would you do? Do you believe you could face it and overcome it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Fresh Vision TV is always here to bring you stories of life and valuable lessons from nature. Look at this incredible scene. A lone adventurer high above the ground clings to the side of a cliff, every muscle tense, every step a calculated risk. Why do they do it? Is it the need to conquer something greater than themselves, or perhaps to capture a moment that few dare to even dream of? What drives someone to put everything on the line for a single photograph? A fleeting experience? Tell me, would you take that leap of faith? But it's not just thrill seekers who find themselves in these perilous positions. Look at these laborers carrying heavy loads up narrow, winding mountain paths. For them, it's not about adventure or adrenaline, it's about survival. They face these dangers every day with nothing but their determination and the weight of their livelihood on their backs. Can you imagine what it's like, knowing that one misstep could mean the end, yet still pushing forward because there's no other choice? What if I told you that some of the most awe-inspiring moments on Earth happen right at the edge of human limits? It's where the line between safety and danger blurs, and the thrill of the unknown becomes the ultimate reward. The city stretches out beneath them, a sea of steel and glass, and every day they go up there to build, to create, to make the impossible possible. How many of us could do what they do day in and day out with nerves of steel and hearts of iron? Now picture an old rickety bridge swaying over a deep canyon. Once a lifeline, now a site of tragedy. In the past decade, over 200 lives have been lost on paths like these. Or consider a glass bridge suspended thousands of feet in the air, where a thrilling walk can quickly turn into terror. These breathtaking views come with a heavy price. More than 500 serious accidents have occurred when people, unprepared, push their limits too far. So if you're tempted by nature's wildest challenges, remember, adventure should be about discovery, not disaster. Would you take the risk? Let me know in the comments. What's the most daring thing you've ever done? And if you're captivated by these feats, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned, because the next journey is just around the corner. Were these structures built to challenge human bravery, or were they simply meant for transportation? Looking at these images, I truly admire the workers who contributed to constructing such dangerous feats. They are the ones who first experience and face these challenges before any of us do. Whether it's for the thrill, the experience, or the sheer necessity of survival, these moments remind us of the extraordinary lengths humans will go to when faced with nature's challenges. It's in these daring acts that we see the true spirit of resilience, determination, and the unquenchable thirst for life. So what about you? Would you dare to face the wild, to push your limits, to discover what lies beyond the edge? Let me know in the comments below. What's the most daring thing you've ever done? And if you want to see more of these incredible human feats, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned, because the next adventure is just around the corner. In the vast blue skies of North America, millions of delicate yet resilient monarch butterflies embark on a grand journey. These vibrant orange-winged creatures weave a living tapestry as they migrate from Canada and the United States to Mexico each year. Around October and November, as autumn settles in, they begin their nearly 3,000-mile odyssey, seeking not just warmth, but the very preservation of their species. Their destination is the Oyamel fir forests in central Mexico, where they will gather to endure the cold winter months. Here, the trees become cloaked in a blanket of countless fluttering wings, creating a scene so magical it feels like a dream come to life. The marvel doesn't end there. Come spring, a new generation of monarchs will take flight, returning northward, continuing the cycle of life. These butterflies carry a profound natural mission, serving not only as a keystone in the web of life, but also as a symbol of resilience and survival against all odds. It's a journey of epic proportions, where each wing beat carries the power and wonder of nature, reminding us of the breathtaking beauty and mystery of the world around us. As summer approaches, the South African coast transforms into a vibrant stage with billions of tiny sardines, ushering in the sardine run. These shimmering streams of fish stretch for hundreds of miles along the shoreline, creating a lavish feast for predators like sharks, dolphins, and seabirds. Each sardine glistens in the sunlight, like silver beads floating in the depths, crafting a spectacle that is impossible to look away from. Yet, it's not just the sheer beauty that captivates. It's the fierce battle for survival beneath the waves, as predators plunge into the shoals with astonishing speed and power. The turmoil of the sea isn't just from the waves, but from the frenzied chase where life and death collide in a struggle for existence. The sight of sardine shoals being driven to the surface, forming a dramatic natural tableau, is a testament to the incredible synchronization and intense vitality of marine life. The sardine run is more than just a natural event. It's a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the relentless drive of survival instincts, showcasing the raw and powerful interplay between predator and prey in the ocean's depths. As twilight fades, what seems like the end of the day becomes the beginning of a mesmerizing and hypnotic display by starling flocks, a phenomenon known as starling murmuration. As the light dims, these starlings gather from all directions, forming a river of motion suspended in the sky. They swoop and swirl in perfect unison, creating intricate, synchronized patterns like a collective dance in the heavens. There's no leader, no one strays. They all move as one, as if guided by an invisible force. Each turn of the flock is like a visual symphony where not a single bird breaks from the flow. It's believed they gather to evade predators, or perhaps simply to share warmth in the cold of night. Whatever the reason, the starling murmuration never fails to awe and enchant those who witness it, leaving us in wonder at nature's perfect choreography. This phenomenon isn't just a breathtaking spectacle. It's a testament to the marvels and complexities of animal behavior, reminding us of nature's might, where every creature plays a vital role in the grand tapestry of life. As the ocean comes alive with millions of drifting jellyfish, a strange and somewhat eerie phenomenon unfolds: jellyfish swarm. These creatures can suddenly appear in vast numbers, completely transforming the underwater landscape. From Japan to the Mediterranean, the seas shimmer with the soft, undulating movements of long, delicate tentacles, like floating lanterns glowing beneath the waves. But this beauty comes with danger. One touch from a jellyfish can deliver a painful, sometimes dangerous sting. The jellyfish swarm is not just a breathtaking natural event. It serves as a stark reminder of the fragile balance in marine ecosystems, where beauty and peril often swim side by side,